Hello, my friends. My name is Wild Endeavor, and welcome back to Minecraft. Today's gonna be a little different than previous episodes. I've decided that I'm gonna just do mostly more building in my world. I'm gonna do a couple other episodes probably in this series, which is gonna be like, away from here because I want to try different seeds and things that I've seen. But for today, we're just gonna do some building. And I'm going to show you what I've been building in between episodes. So let's get back to normal view. I am in creative. So the first thing I built is I built a lava chicken shack. And you can see it works. Turn it on. Chickens go in and they die. This is honestly the closest you can get to what Steve created in the movie. Hold on, there's another one back there who's somehow escaped his fate. There you go. I tried the old version, which is basically automatic, but it seems like because the fact is they've made it so that the chicks can jump and fly, that it doesn't work like it used to. I think this works pretty well, except when I have to deal with that. So probably periodically I will go over here. I'll probably cut that out of the video, so you won't have to watch me go over here and do this. But while I'm on here, they keep spawning. I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to show you the whole thing before we go. So this is made from what I found on a YouTube short. It's probably the best one that works. The target actually has the dispenser actually shoot when the eggs go in. The entire inside is filled with hoppers. And then you have redstone to open up the sticky pistons. And it actually works pretty well. I'm happy with it, and I put a villager in here. And yes, I was nice and I gave him a bed so they could sleep at night. Because he's working at 22 cooked chickens. Are there any grown-up ones in there? Yep, they are, so. Pushes them out. And when it's adult, it gets killed. The baby's still there until they grow up bigger. So, wife made a little bit more alterations to the farm or to the barn in case you didn't see it. It's just mostly cosmetic. That's her beef. This is what I've been working on pretty much the last number of days. I've always had this idea in mind since I started playing Minecraft all those years ago of basically building and continuously to build a huge kind of like town for the villagers. So I decided that I'm going to do that. I'm going to build a village. I'm going to build an entire town and community. So right now, I figure these are the closest ones to where the main castle is. So we have a place for arrows. We have a blacksmith shop that has both tools, workshop, and weaponsmith. So I call them the Blackwells because these two actually had a kid right there and they grew up. Then I created Fruit o' the Loom, which is my wife's contribution, of a loom with some sheep and everything. And that guy just spawned on his own once I started doing this. I also built I've been working on actually building a brick road. And since this is the desert area, we have Sal and his wife, who is a butcher because we have all these smokers. He catches the fish. He catches the fish and she fries them up and sells them. They have their little house. And then, as you can see, this is very much a work in progress. I plan to expand over to here, across this, and through this mountain, making a tunnel. And over to here, and I'm probably going to make a few things that are desert essential, like the cactus, as well as sugarcane, and go from there. And have some fun with that. So basically, I'm just gonna continue the town and keep expanding it outward in all directions, so that it's entirely surrounding. So that the center point of this entire place is going to be the castle up here. This is going to be the center point of this new kingdom. And also, this gives me an excuse to build some big buildings, what we're doing today. This is going to be the Royal Library. As you can see, future site of the Royal Library. I spent time plotting this out. The base is going to be cobblestone. I may make the brick of it different than what I'm planning, but we'll see first. We'll try. But sir, first, we're going to replace these with cobble, because the base is going to be a mixture of cobblestone things as well as stairs to give it effect. I saw a video of someone who did it for like castles, and they had basically a cobble base. So I think I'll do the same thing. So yeah, this video is going to be building. It's going to be 2 stories. It's going to have a staircase that goes in two directions. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build, and I'm going to talk to you guys. I figured I don't talk enough. Mostly I just do stuff and I react, and that's fun and all, but I will plan to try and do some other stuff. But I made this world and bought this realm because I wanted to give my wife the ability to have somewhere to build in peace. That. And it's going to be a big building, so I've always wanted to create a grand library. And this is just my first attempt. I may make another one later that's even bigger, because I've been looking at, like, you know, pictures of the New York Metropolitan Library. Dang it. No, nope, I don't have the grass block anymore. Put that back in there just in case this happens, which it probably will until I'm done with the foundation. Yeah. Yeah, today, this week has been a long week for me, I'll be honest. I know you guys, I don't share much of myself. Going the wrong way. I know I don't share much of myself, but my normal everyday job is I am training to be an appraiser of homes. So that requires going to school, so for the last number of days, I've had to get up like around 5 in the morning every morning, so I can take an hour-long drive up to Phoenix. I know I'm giving away where I live, but good luck trying to find me. So it takes me an hour-long drive to get to where I have to do the Department of Revenue, and spend the entire day in a class. Very interesting class, but it's also very long. So that's been my week. Friday, I actually took the test today, because they do test us. But I'm working to become a full-blown level 1 appraiser, which, once you do it, it could be paid very well, especially in the current economy. And so, doing this is just, it's something fun to do, and I'm glad that I can film it and give it to you guys. If it helps you relax like it does me, then I'm happy. But I just want to build. That's what I want to do. Just want to build. I want to share it with you guys. I realized a couple of things while doing these long drives. World's a scary place, but on the flip side of it, there's always hope. Because we as people have the ability to strive and do better. And that's what we have to do. There we go. Now let's just fill in the blocks so that, you know, totally filled in. You'll see why I'm doing this right now, because the fact it's going to be very evident later with what I do at the edges. If you might as well just make it all something they can sit on. But I know that the world for a lot of people right now are scary because of various things. And I've also learned something on these drives that's more important. Don't worry about what society thinks of you. Anymore, we are all worried about how the world views us, how it's going to react to us. Social media has caused us all to pretty much, you know, be mindful of what the people on the internet say. And I know it's ironic I'm saying this, considering that I'm trying to be a YouTuber here. But if you base your entire existence on the idea of how the world sees you, then your validation is not going to come from anything that's substantial. If you've seen any number of famous YouTubers or famous streamers, they can be one moment the toast of the town, and then the next they do something inadvertently that they had no intention of, but then they just they ruin their reputation and destroy themselves. I knew many a streamer on Mixer who I thought these guys were some of the best and some of the great people on the platform, only to come to find out that they destroyed themselves being stupid. I knew one guy who was very good friend with another friend of mine who had kids, who had a wife, very happy, who basically was harassing another female streamer who was in a committed relationship with her girlfriend. And the guy got drunk at a convention and hit on her and everything, and just was very rude about it. I also knew another one who basically took an inebriated female streamer and friend back to her hotel room by himself and tried to, put the moves on her. Now I'm going to be I know if I age myself, but I'm 43 years old. I'm going to be 44 this year in May, next month. So I'm going to give you some piece of advice if you're younger than me, or even if you're my age. Number one, if you go to a convention and you're there with other people other people of streaming, gaming, what have you, and if a female friend or colleague is in need of help to get back to their room because they drank a little too much, and you want to be the good person to try and help, that's fair and all and a good thing, but make sure that you take one of the other female people there with you. In this day and age, anything can be construed, and you have no evidence but your own word. So it's better to just, be on the safe side and be a good person. Too many people anymore just take advantage of others when they see a weakness, and that's also. Oh, it's raining, I think. So remember to protect yourself and don't worry about what society thinks about you. Too many people anymore, we are so worried about being canceled. It's like, okay, being canceled, so what? Anymore, because of social media, we all base ourselves on how many followers we have, how many of this, how many of that kind of thing, and in the end, all that does is just pretty much, it causes all of us to worry about the wrong things. It used to be that everyone's self-worth was valued based on their own point of view and what they contributed to the world, not how the world saw them. But so many people anymore view the world based on how the world sees you. I'm going to tell you something I learned at a somewhat young age when I was a teenager in junior high. There are two kinds of people in this world. There are people that, one, will value you, try and lift you up, will be there for you when you need them. These are what you call family. I know they're friends as well, but but family to me is not just blood. Family are those that you surround yourself with that care about your well-being and who you are and will be there for you. That to me is family. As Dom said in The Fast and the Furious, I don't got friends, I have family. And that's the truth of it. You have to make your friends your family, because in most cases, my family was very loving. My mother, unfortunately, is a narcissist. As such, I went no contact with her about a couple of years ago because she refused to see me as an adult and only saw me as basically a teenager. Okay, so we have that going for us. We got that going. Put that there so I can know exactly where the entrance is going to be. We'll just do it this way. Yeah. Well, it may not work. I'm thinking way it's going to work. So let me try it out. I want it to be stone. I may have to change what I do with the brickstone and everything else. I'll have to see. I do brick. What do you think about that? Mud bricks, bricks itself. That's chiseled nether bricks, red bricks, stone, polished black stone. The polished black stone is going to be the roof, so yeah, I may change the pathways then. So yeah, worrying about how people view you is going to lead to you just basically to find never being fulfilled. Be it on TikTok, be it on here. Just keep in mind that anything you do on the internet is going to be there. It may get you something, but it always comes down to one thing above all else. What do you want out of it? I do this as a hobby. I'm not doing this to make money. I have a full-time job, so... But I come to the realization that I do this because I like to create and make videos and sometimes have fun with those videos. So... But I don't worry about how the world is going to view me because I don't try and get out of my bubble. I don't try and say things. I'm always very mindful of what I post, not because the fact is of just I care what people think, but because that's how I am. You have to be careful of what you say and think about what you say rather than just say it. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, just say the first thing that comes to our head. And in the end, all that does is cause you to have more problems. All right, so I have this. The inside was going to be wood. It was going to be oak planks because I like... Hold on. No, that one. Spruce. Where's the dark oak? I want the dark oak. Here we go. Dark oak planks. There we go. Back up here. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted. And dark oak doors. Yeah, I'm going to have to cover that in. I realize that. Or maybe I should just not do that. I mean, it looks cool. I may use it as an accent later, but yeah. There we go. Just do that. This way it's a little easier. There we go. All right. So, I mean, it used to be that people believed in what they did, and they did what they did for good reasons. Because they believed in what their accomplishment was, and that brought them a sense of self-worth. Self-worth. Sorry. Drink here. But now anymore, it's just been, you worry about how you're viewed online, number of followers, and that's how you find value. And it's just, social media, while a great tool, is also a bane to us, because the fact is, it's also used for wrong things like cyberbullying and everything else. But I came to the conclusion, and I want you to do the same thing. Don't worry about who doesn't like you, because there are over 7 billion people in this world. I guarantee you, not everyone is going to like you, no matter how pretty, or how smart, or how clever, or how funny you are. There's always going to be someone out there that dislikes you. And then you do, or may annoy them. I don't know. I'll be honest, in my class, I work with people that are close to my age, some older, some younger. But there's this woman there who is younger than me. I would say probably in her 30s. And I'm not going to name names because she has a job to do too. But the woman has basically a nervous habit. When things get quiet, she has to start singing quietly to herself. And sometimes it's just basically humming some tones. Sometimes it's actually full-blown singing. I think she's learned not to do it like loud all the time. But in the middle of, we were doing class, we were trying to work and do like studying or taking a quiz, she'd be off in the corner where she was and then just start doing that. And it's just like, I wanted to tell her many times, like, stop it. But it's not my place. I'm not the instructor of that class. They don't seem to care, and then I came to the rationalization that it's probably just a nervous trait of hers. Oh. The lightning rod is working. Good. I did that to prevent a witch. Make sure it worked. Yeah. I don't want to kill, because witch shouldn't appear where I'm peaceful, but still. I did that for a reason. I know that when you have this many villagers, you have lightning, it can create a witch, so I put up a lightning bolt. But my rational mind had to basically formulate, why is she doing this? And it came down to what I thought, I was like, yes, she's doing this because it's how she deals with nerves or being nervous. And we all have that way of dealing with that. I myself do, you do. No one in this world is perfect, no matter what people may think or try and portray. They're not. They all have their issues in one way or another. But in most cases, you can live with them. It's just more, we have to talk and we have to understand one another, especially in this current climate. I've been on this earth over 40 years, and I can tell you that right now, the current climate is probably at its worst. It comes down to what people want to believe, which is basically both sides in the political spectrum are playing the win-lose game. And what I mean by that is there's kind of different ways of, dealing with individuals or dealing with an opposition to you, or even someone that's a friend to you. The first one, the most favorable, is the win-win, where you both get something. You both get the outcomes you want, and you both succeed in it. This is the most ideal kind of thing you want to do, because it allows you to basically have a good life. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is a good height, I think. But both sides of the aisle, both the left and the right, are playing the win-lose game. Meaning that for their side to win, the other side must lose. I mean, and that's the problem, why no one wants to talk anymore. So instead of trying to talk and debate, you resort back to basically, if you don't get your way, you basically go down to name calling. I'll never forget a famous quote I heard. I don't know if he said it or just from a show. But Benjamin Franklin once said, tell someone in private they're being stupid. They'll appreciate it a lot more and they may even thank you for it. Tell someone they're stupid in public and they may take that as personal and may take offense to it. The meaning basically is that having a discourse with someone and feeling that what they're saying, what they're doing is stupid of them is normal. But to result back to basically just childish, you're stupid kind of thing, it doesn't allow us to talk. The greatest thing about any type of political system is the ability to debate. And that's the one thing it seems like we've lost right now in the US is the fact is that no one wants to debate. It's just more, I'm right, you're wrong, deal with it. And I'm gonna make sure that my side owns your side, and I'm gonna enjoy you being mad about it. It's like, when did we divide ourselves entirely by our political parties? Or who we voted for in the last election? Who cares? I value myself not by who I voted for because I have no power in that. I value myself in trying to make the best choice for what I believe in. Is it always the same as the next guy? No. But I follow my conscience and I follow what I feel is the person that best represents me and mine. And that's the way it should be. But to understand and find a way to deal with your friends and those you don't like, you have to talk. You have to see where they're coming from. And that's very hard anymore because both sides just want to win. They want the other side to lose and for them to win. So it has become just such a polarizing idea that we have to do that, and you don't. The best thing you want in life is the win-win, where you both get your point across. And yes, win-win may not always be perfect. It may not always be the way you want it, but in the end, you get what you need. That's compromise. Because we all have to live in this world. We all have valid points. We just have to basically remember that the other side has valid points as well. And they come from a place of it. You have to find out as well where the other side is coming from their point of view. Because that will allow you to see where they're coming from and hopefully be able to give you a better understanding so that you can make an informed decision about that. All right, well, the first layer is done. These. That is for future. Yes, I have my crossbow just in case I need to kill something. That for now. Lantern. I like lanterns. On. Not there. I do like lanterns. Okay. I need dark. I want birch. No. Birch stairs. Okay. So I have to figure out how to do and find the right amount. So I wanted to extend 3 points out. Since the top floor is going to be right about here, I wanted to go extend here. Math, the pain. All right, so this one is going to be basically where the entrance is. Oh, for that as well. I may change this later. I don't know. That's my right. I have to do this. Sorry, it's my alarm. Right. But just remember in your own life, pretty much, it's better in the end to try and come to a win-win scenario. I wanted this not to be that low, so... Okay, well, this maybe as high as I can go with it. Or I just basically have them both downwards and not have a middle one. That's an idea too. I'll see how this works for what I'm trying to do, and then we'll go from there with it. Okay, yeah, that'll work. And then, so that is how far out? That's 2 blocks out. Because I like people on both sides now. There's some people I don't like at all. But I also have learned that the one biggest thing you have to do is you have to listen. Most people get angry because they're not being heard. You can't dismiss someone just because you don't like their opinion and their point. But you should never tolerate someone being rude to you. Never. That's the one thing I will say. Never tolerate anyone being rude to you. Rudeness is something that we can all avoid. There we go. Maybe a little higher. Don't be rude, because it takes so little effort in life to not be rude, people. Besides, it may save your life. If you remember the previous TV show Hannibal, which is based on the character from The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, not a bad show. They pretty much gave a reason why that Hannibal Lecter did what he did. He killed people that were rude. He hated rudeness. So, another more reason just basically to be polite to people. It doesn't take that much to be polite to someone. I will say I had to exercise that a lot this last week because I go to a major city to go do my test. And one of the hardest problems right now is that there's a lot of, a lot of homeless, especially close to where I was doing my my schooling. And they're all over the place. I had to be courteous to people that were walking by and mostly just... It's not a bad thing to acknowledge the homeless. They're people too. They're just people who have their own problems. You can do anything in your life that you want to change. Okay, hold on. This is too low. I need to go another level up. Yeah, I need to go up to level 5. Yeah, except from what I have planned for like the books and everything else, they're going to be taller, so I need to go a little higher. Otherwise, the books are going to be right next to the ceiling. So, I don't want that. So, yeah, these are going to be higher. I'm going up one more level. I apologize, but it's just doing the thing in my head as far as how it looks. It's like, nah, it's not going to work the way I want it to work. Go. So we're gonna go one more higher, and then probably keep going from there. Maybe two more. I don't know. But you have the ability to change your fate in this world. You want to be a YouTuber? Go for it. It doesn't take much. I started this journey a number of years ago. And you can do it with a headset. You can do it with just like this. OBS is free. I use OBS for my recording because it's a free system. Yes, there are probably better systems out there to do recordings with. I like OBS because it's simple to work with and it's also the magic word, free. So go for it. Make videos, make gameplay. Do something that is entertaining. This is creative. It stimulates your mind. I like doing Minecraft because, again, it stimulates my mind and my creativity. I'm not really much a creative person. I am very much a very logical thinker. Hence my building design. My wife is an artist. I'm not. That being said, as well, this is how some will probably go up to 6. Just because of that. And then we'll continue to try and put the inside in because that's how we're going to see how well this does. But you can do this. You want to be a YouTuber? Just go for it. The one thing that stops us, the one thing that always causes us not to take that plunge is fear. And I know this. Fear kept me from going from good jobs because I was always taught you have a good job, you're making money. Don't upset the apple cart. Just keep doing what you're doing. You see all the people that are successful in the world, they took a chance. And yes, you're gonna fall on your face. I know this. I fell on my face many a time. But you learn more in failure than you do in success. So don't be afraid to try. Being afraid to try is what prevents you from doing anything more worthwhile. Okay, now we're at level 6. So, try this again. That's one thing I say to anyone who sees my and hears my voice and sees these videos. Don't be afraid to try. There's always going to be someone out there that's going to want to watch you. Maybe it's just the tone of your voice. Maybe it's just the style of your video. I make this just basically to be me. I know there are many YouTubers who put on like animated faces or they just put on a mask essentially. What you see with me is what you get. I don't tend to be more. I'm very laid back. I wish at times that I was a lot more animated, but it's just not my nature. Not my nature to be animated. I'm very much an introvert. So, a little too close there. Wait, hold on. It's gonna be... If I do it here too, it's not gonna be even. I have an idea they'd be able to correct that, but first we have to try this first. Don't be afraid to try. Even if you fail, even if you're not the most successful, but also manage your goals. If you want to do streaming, if you want to do YouTube, that's fine. Go for it. But ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you wanting to do this to make money? Are you wanting to do this to just entertain? Okay, so we're going to do it right here, I think. Go back to my original plan of, because in the end, if you find out reasons why, if you want to do this for a living, if this is what your job, you want your job to be, then go for it. But you're going to have to put in the hustle. That's the one thing I'll say. The one thing I've learned about all of this, if you want to really do this and become your career, it's not something that happens instantaneous. You think that most of the guys out there just got here because of instantaneous success. No, they put in the work. They got the attention. They enjoy what they did, and it showed through. And I hope it's with you guys here. You can sense how much I'm enjoying this. Let's put this last floor in, then we'll end the video. And make sure this doesn't go all the way. I can be able to get up here. Yeah, don't be afraid to try. We all get scared. We all feel like basically the easiest thing in the world is not to try, because then you don't run the risk of failure. But if you don't try, then yeah, that'll work. Then you'll just be stuck with whatever life gives you. I did customer service for 16 years. Got to the point where I could probably still been in customer service right now. I hated it. I was very good at it. It's probably one of the best things I could do. But if you've done customer service retail work, you know that sometimes dealing with people can grate on your nerves. And so I took a chance. I left the comfortability of my job. I left the comfortability of another job because I was not happy. Never be afraid to say you're not happy. But I will give you this one piece of advice that I learned the hard way. If you're going to leave a job, make sure before you do that you have another job lined up. If you see my previous work before all this, that was all done. Most of that was done during a time of 5 months when I was out of work, because I quit my previous job because I was doing the job of 4 people and I couldn't take it anymore, and I had to leave for my own sanity. But that was a hard 5 months. It really was. So my best advice, if you're going to leave your job that you're at, go for something more, then make sure you have something lined up. Especially with the way the job market is and everything, just make sure you have something lined up before you leave. Right now, I'm your internet dad, and I'm giving you the best advice I can give you. Just make sure that you try. Don't be afraid to try, but always hedge your bets. Nothing wrong with that, because make sure that the bet goes your way rather than the bet going the way of the house, which is fate. Because the world is a very harsh place, and there are people that will love to watch you fall, either out of jealousy or just because they like to see that happen. So don't rise to them. Don't listen to them. People you listen to the most are the people you value the most. Listen to their opinions. I'm just some voice in the internet. I know this. But if I can help you, no one else is giving you this kind of advice, then let me just say, first and foremost, you can do anything. Don't be afraid. There's someone out there that does believe in you, and I do believe in you because I didn't have that for a long time until I met my wife. Don't be afraid to try, but always do good. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't be afraid to try, and don't be afraid to fall on your face. That's the other part. But just try and make sure you, when you fall on your face, that you fall in a way that you're not really leaving yourself in the worst place. All right, so we have built the first level of the library. The next episode, we'll try and see if we can complete it. We'll get the second level built, and then we'll get the roof on, and then we'll fill this thing up with the books and everything, and it'll be a new accomplishment. So I'm glad you were here to watch this with me. I know it's a little different than what I've normally done, but I figure you'll get a little bit more enjoyment out of watching me build something than watching me flounder around trying to fight things. So with that, I want to, this is the part of the video where I say thank you for watching. Please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. It does let you know when the videos do come out. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you with some parting words and say thank you again, but also be well, know that you are valued, and also know that I appreciate you. And until the next time, I will see you in the next video. Peace.